Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down and we're going to use a blanket or a rolled up towel and fold it so it's a long, narrow sheet. And that's going to go under the shoulder blade. Definitely worth it. When you lay down, it catches the lower part of the shoulder blade, but your shoulders and arms are free to lay down on the floor. So just check if it's not under the arch of your lower back, it's under your shoulder blade. And so it lifts and broadens the rib cage, and checking that your neck feels okay. So sometimes when you put this kind of support under your ribs, your neck is going to feel like you're having to reach your head back to touch the floor. Put another pillow in if that's the case under your head. And otherwise, just tucking your chin a little into your chest so the back of your neck feels long. And then we'll take some nice deep breaths into the ribs and get used to the shape. Legs hip width and feet hip width and parallel, legs parallel. We're taking some deep breaths and feeling the movement of the ribs. Checking in, is there tension from getting into this position that you don't need now, so you can just let it go. And try your legs in Baddha Konasana now, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. If that feels too strong, go back to feet hip width and parallel. Notice the feeling of the breath in the ribs that are supported in this way, broader. The movement of the front ribs and the lungs. And arms straight out from the shoulders. I might have neglected to say that. So the shoulders also feel broad, relaxed. And the chest broad. Good, and then we'll gently fold in the arms and the legs and take your time rolling off your blanket to your right side. We're going to use that blanket to kneel up on, and if kneeling is not an option, then come up to standing. Otherwise, put your knees on the padding of the blanket. So we're kneeling up. And if you're standing, your feet are hip width and parallel, and kneeling, your thighs are parallel. Feet are parallel. Good. We're going to take the left arm up by the left ear, and you're going to reach back behind you and reach down the back of your thigh, just as far as is comfortable for your body. Good, and then we're going to do the right arm also. So we're going to swim, it's like a backstroke from side to side. And as you're doing that, keep lifting the front of the thigh. So powerfully lifting the front of the hips. So you feel very stable in your spine. And we start to feel that big expanse of the ribs, the chest. Okay. Next time you take your right arm back, hold it there, and then swim your left arm back. So you've got both arms reaching down as far as your back is comfortable with. So some people can reach all the way even to their heels. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to the thighs and work on this big lift of the front of the hips, the front of the thighs, lifting the breastbone, lifting the face to look upward at the sky, and feeling really strong in my core support of the spine. Good work. And then we'll release. And come into an all fours position. Just step your knees off your blanket. And if you're standing, you'll have to get back down on the floor. Or you can stay standing, and we're going to do spinal waves forward and back. And take it nice and slow. Trying to find every little supple movement. And the other direction. Okay, and then whether you're kneeling or standing, if you're kneeling, take child's pose. If you're standing, you could take uttanasana, standing forward bend. You might even rest your forehead on your blanket in child's pose. And just letting your back body relax. The neck relax. The shoulders relax. Good. And then coming back up, either to standing or to kneeling up for your ustrasana or camel pose. Let's take both of the arms back again and find where your arms are going to sit. So you can even press them onto the back of the pelvis, holding the thighs. If you want to tuck your toes under, you might be able to reach your heels. But you're going to do something that doesn't stress your back, but where you can connect to that lift of the thighs, lift of the hips, lift of the breastbone, looking up and taking that nice deep breath and feeling the expansion of your lungs and ribs. Beautiful. Nice work. All right. We're going to keep the padding underneath the left knee and step the right knee forward. Bring the hips forward and we'll bring the hands down onto the floor. Good. Tuck the toes under of the back foot and you can lift the knee a little off the padding. So especially if there's pressure, it's uncomfortable on your knee, you can try and lift your knee a little. Or you can keep it resting, but we're going to work on bringing the hips further and further forward. Lift the breastbone. You can come up onto fingertips. So you're looking forward. Good. And then we're going to swap sides. So you're stepping back and kneeling onto your padding. Left foot forward, hands to the floor. If you need to, you can tuck your back toe under and lift the knee a little bit from the floor. But bring the hip forward. Swap sides again. Actually, what we're going to do this time is before you lean forward, try and lift your left foot off the floor. And if you can reach back and try and take hold of that foot. And then we're going to lean forward. and trying to lift the breastbone. Looking forward. Nice work releasing that side. And then second side, take the left foot forward. And so before you lean forward, picking up the right foot and taking hold of the right foot. And then see how you go, leaning forward, lifting the breastbone. Good, and then releasing. And then we're going to come into child's pose or into standing forward bend if kneeling down is not working. And then all fours. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. We're going to press the heels down. And then little steps forward. Little steps. All the way to the front with your feet and then all the way back. And keep walking back and forward and use it as an opportunity to really try and press the heels down where you can. Notice where your body resists the feet coming forward. Stretch your fingers wide. Good. And when you're ready, come up to standing. Good. Standing with the feet hip width, lifting the front of the thighs. We're going to take the arms up and back again into our ustrasana arms. And you're going to hold, you could hold at the back of the pelvis or the thighs, reach down, but really lifting the front of the legs, lifting the hips, lifting the breastbone, looking up. Good. Feeling that beautiful big rib cage. Great. And then bend the knees, reaching the torso forward, the bones of your spine pressing forward. And we're going to straighten one leg at a time. And then both legs and looking forward. Good, and then rolling up. Arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach your arms back behind you. Reach to hold your pelvis or your thighs. Good, and lifting the front of the legs. Lifting the belly, looking up. Beautiful, chin to the chest and roll the top of the spine forward. Roll the whole spine forward. And we're going to just dangle forward. Take it slow. You've got your feet hip width parallel and let everything in your upper body just hang down. This is going to stretch the skin over the spine, which we know will squash the belly a little, but just giving a good stretch to the skin and deeper tissue of your back. Shoulders nice and relaxed, neck nice and relaxed. Good, and then we're going to roll up. Okay, and one more ustrasana. Arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, really strong in your front of your legs. Take your arms back, hold as deeply as feels good for your back. Lift your thighs, lift your hips, looking up. And then chin to the chest and rolling forward. Ooh. And we're going to let everything just hang forward. Mm. be heavier and heavier in your shoulders, your arms, your head. Good, and then rolling up. Take Tadasana and face the long edge of your mat. I'm just putting my fan on. Bring the hands in front of your heart. We're going to jump or step, however it feels good, out to a little bit wider for your feet than your leg is long. And we're going to turn the toes out and drop your hips. So you're bending your knees, and as you drop your hips, really lift the pelvic floor and core of the body. Good. And then we're going to take the hands and just hold behind your thighs so you can make that ustrasana shape in your back again. So try to see if you can lift your belly, lift your breastbone, and look up at the ceiling. Good. And now we're going to just lift the torso so you're looking forward and straighten one leg and bend the other leg. But we feel the spine is really long now, really supported by the core work. And the chest feels really spacious. There's lots of room for the breath. And we investigate how that hip movement and knee movement feel. They can be little movements. They can be deeper movements. And if you want to try going much deeper, you can do this with the torso leaning forward, but keep your back bend shape. And we'll put the hands underneath the shoulders. And then you can lean down into your squat as deeply as your knees are happy with. And lifting up. Come back to center, lifting up. Good work. Jump or stamp or whatever feels good. Back to Tadasana. Okay, so we're working on being able to lift one leg and bind that leg. So we're going to stand on the right leg, lift the left leg. Now the first stage of this is with the tiptoes just brushing the floor and just reaching and trying to hold your clothing. And the next stage is lifting the knee higher and maybe still holding your clothing or even binding your knee. And if your foot is within reach, even try holding onto your foot. So I'm holding the little toe side of my foot with my left hand. Good, and we're standing tall, but somehow binding the leg. Good, now before you put it down, we're going to find where the foot goes. Tadasana. Good, and then the second side. So you're standing into your left leg, and then you're somehow binding your right leg, something that challenges you. You're trying to reach for your foot, try holding the little toe side of your foot with your right hand. Good, and before you put that foot down, we're finding where it goes. Great. So on the way to being able to hold that foot and straighten the leg, we need to work on the hamstrings. We're going to do uttanasana. And at first, you're going to bend your knees. You're going to put your hands down on your thighs. So we're only a little way into our forward bend. If you're really going to think about protecting your back here and ease the bones of your spine forward. So we've been doing quite a bit in the practice in ustrasana, which really does open the ribs. So feeling the bones of the spine come forward. Good, and then keep reaching the top of the head forward. Find your forward bend, your optimum position, and your legs are bent. So keep reaching the torso forward, and you can even bend your legs more to get the torso further forward, and you put your hands where it makes sense, so further down your legs or on the floor. And we want to keep that feeling of spaciousness in the belly and the chest. Okay, now try and straighten your legs. And we try to keep the chest as close to the legs as we can. And you might do one at a time. Or both together. So we get that nice big resistance. Good. And then lifting up or rolling up. Arms up. And Tadasana. Okay. Step your right foot forward and your left foot back. And we're going to lower the left knee towards the floor, but not quite to the floor. Reach your hands down either side of your front leg and then try to lean back your hips and lift your toes, your right toes up off the floor so that we stretch that front leg. And we can even wiper the foot from side to side, to the left, to the right. Good. And then reaching forward and stepping up so that you're stepping and placing your foot with intention. Nice work. Tadasana. Little step back with the right foot. Lower your back knee towards the floor so you can put your hands on the floor either side of your front foot. Lift your front toes off the floor and straighten your front leg. Ooh, leaning your hips back. It's a bit of a hunch shape for the back, I know. But we're going to lift the left toes and rock the foot from side to side. Good. And then you're going to step forward, lift up, and place that foot with intention. Tadasana. Okay, let's do one more. Uttanasana now. We'll approach it a little differently. Arms up. Urdhva. Arms out to the side. Reach the torso forward. Keep reaching the belly long, the chest long. We want to reach as far as we can over the thighs. Bend your legs if you need to. And you try to get your chest as close to your thighs as you can. Place your hands where they make sense. And then without lifting the chest away from the legs, try to straighten your legs. Good. And then releasing. And we're going to sit down. And if you can sit from here, do so. So you squat down and gently lowering down without using your hand. Otherwise, use your wisdom, your body sense, and taking a seat. I'll stay sitting sideways so you can see. We're going to sit onto a blanket. So I like to fold the blanket on the other edge as a seat. And before we think about going forward, we're going to revisit our back bend movement. So sit tall, bring the arms up by the ears, bring the arms back behind you, and just reach back to hold the floor as far back as you can reach. And then we're going to lift the belly and lift the breastbone. Shining the heart upward and outward. Ooh. Because we're going to try with our forward bend to keep this shape for the spine. Bend your legs in. So try to keep your back bend shape, but bend your legs so your feet are flat on the floor. And then take your hands and hold the front of your knees. And then keep, very good, adjust my mic. Keep taking the ribs further and further forward until you can get your ribs close to your thighs. If you need to walk your feet back closer to do that, until we get the ribs connected to the thighs. Good. All right, now we're going to begin the journey of wiggling the feet forward and not letting the chest or the ribs come away from the thighs. And we're going to keep wiggling the feet forward. And it starts to get tricky. And where it gets tricky, that's where you're going to be working. So we try to get the feet to go forward, but we try not to lose the connection of the ribs and the thighs. So feeling the back bend shape in your torso, feeling the breath, and just noticing that resistance. We're so lucky to have. All right, and then you want to explore your hamstring stretch as much as possible. So try to get your leg to straight and keep your ribs as close as you can to your thighs. And find that big resistance. Paschimottanasana. Seated forward bend. Good, and then releasing and coming up. Take a seat now in a cross-legged position, or if that doesn't work, for your knees or your feet. Sometimes it's the feet that are the problem for cross-legged. You can just have a more relaxed, semi-wide position. And again, we're going to try our ustrasana arms and upper body. So sweep the right arm back onto the floor behind and the left arm back onto the floor behind. And lifting your spine, lifting your rib cage, finding space around your heart and looking up. All right, we're going to try and keep that shape in the torso. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bring both arms to face around to the left and reach the belly, the breastbone, over the left knee. And then inhale up. And we're going to go from side to side. See if you can keep the shape in your torso. That means you might not be bending that far, but go as far as feels good in your body. Testing your stretch. Acknowledging your limits. And being curious as to your potential. So you keep going side to side. Letting the movement begin to feel more natural, like the feeling of the breath. We stop trying so hard with the ego. Okay, we're going to keep going, but we need to swap the cross of the legs for cross-legged people. And of course, that will change the feeling. Enjoying that you can keep the good back bend shape for your spine and still explore your movement in that direction. Last one. Nice work. Back up to sitting. Good. We're going to lay down and work a little on our hips and hamstrings in Supta Padangusthasana. You need a little bit of room either side of your mat to take your legs. I'm going to do this from starting with bent legs, feet hip width parallel, and just letting your body settle. Let's do the left leg first, and we're going to hug that left leg in. Left tension in the muscle to lift the leg, and you really want to relax in your left thigh, left joint. Your knee gets to be as close to your chest as you have movement. And then you keep your knee there and bring the sole of the left foot parallel to the ceiling. So you've got a deep knee bend in your left leg now. And relax. Knee even starts with the shoulder or the outside chest. Okay, so now we know where the knee can go to. We want to keep it there, and then we start to investigate. Use your weight, help you and it'll be pretty easy because we're right at the limit of our movement. The hamstring stretch reflex is going to be saying no, no, no. And that is something to consider. As you can be at the left side. So if you're not reaching your foot, or holding your legging, some people have a yoga strap. So out to the left side, and your right knee can just fall to the right, so you've got a nice stretch across the hips. And when you take your left leg out to the left side, see if you can recommit to that straightening process, the stretching process. Great. And then back up to the center. Keep the stretch on your leg. And with the right hand, we can take the left leg now up the body to the left leg right across the body to the right side. And again, recommitting to straightening the leg. And you're looking for your possible movement here. Where can you relax and release tension? Whoa. Okay, we're going to release that leg. Just lay both legs out straight for a moment and close your eyes. And if there's any different feeling from leg to leg. Okay, and we'll do the other side so they match up. Bending your leg. We'll start with the feet hip width parallel, hugging in your right knee, and aware, obviously, muscles move, they contract, and that's a form of tension. So we need that to move the leg in, but then to move the leg closer to the chest, the right thigh closer to the chest, we need to let go of that tension and relax the right hip joint. Okay, so your knee's at its optimal distance from your chest, and then we bring the sole of the right foot parallel to the ceiling. And again, relaxing. the right thigh, right hip joint. Okay, so start to investigate your straightening so that we can find that stretch. And when you've got your stretch happening, try and relax the shoulders, face and throat. And we're going to take the right leg out to the right side and the left knee out to the left side. Really stretching the right leg. Good. And then back up to the center and keep the stretch on. Swap the hand hold and see if you can take your leg across your body to the left side and recommit to that stretch. Woo. Nice work. And releasing. And put both legs out to straight for a moment. Just lay and feel the effect of stretching the hips so deeply. And it's right around the hips, it's the buttocks, the outside muscles at the outside, those stabilizing muscles, hamstrings. Okay, and then a little stretch for the front now. So you're just going to bend your legs in, cross your feet at your ankles, and try to place your feet really close in under your sit bones. And then you can let go of your feet and let your knees down to the floor. If you don't get any stretch in the front of your leg, you need a little height under your hips so you can put your blanket back in under there. But if you get a nice stretch, particularly in the right leg, if your right foot is under your left. Or vice versa. And we're going to change sides. So lifting your legs so you can swap, but do try to place the feet close, close, close in underneath the sit bone. Good. And then releasing, feet back to hip width parallel, legs bent. Pick up your left foot and take hold of your left foot with your right hand and straighten your left leg as best you can. Roll your lower body towards the floor to the right. And we try to keep the left shoulder blade onto the floor, looking over the left shoulder. And letting go, tension. Good. And then you can bend that leg. So lifting up, using your core awareness, so your spine is supported. And then pick your right foot up off the floor, take hold of your right foot with your left hand and try to straighten your right leg. Good, and then roll your lower body towards the floor on the left. Right shoulder blade stays on the floor. You might even be able to reach your arms straight out from your shoulder. And then we just let go. Good, and then coming back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Great. And if you'd like to join for Shavasana, be about another 10 minutes. And if you need to finish your practice, rolling to your right side, coming up, sitting. Namaste. Thank you. Okay, so Shavasana people, just making sure you are comfortable on the floor. You might need the blanket underneath your thigh. Or a blanket or a pillow under your head. And take a few moments to really try and balance yourself on the floor. Try to find some even weight side to side, especially of those heavy areas like the lower legs, the pelvis, the shoulder blades and ribs, back of the head, back of the arms, and feel the connection of your body and the support floor. Building the earth. Feeling the flow of the breath. And as each place in the body is mentioned, discovering if there's any little parts of tension left and just letting that go. Toes now. Feet. Ankles. And lower leg. Knees. And thighs. And hips. Belly. Lower back. Middle back. Between the shoulder blade and the back of the shoulders. the rib cage, the bones of the spine connected to the ribs, the bones of the breastbone connected to the ribs, the shoulders, and the armpit, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists and palms, the thumb, fingers, now your neck and throat, base of the skull and scalp, forehead, around your eyebrows, between them, around your eyes, and your nose and mouth, lips and tongue, and jaw. Feel the muscles of your face relax. Relax your ears. Tune your hearing inward. And hold now your whole body in the focus of your awareness, breath by breath. Notice the feeling of your body laying still and the potential of movement. Explore that potential now as you wiggle your hands and your feet and bend in your arms and your legs and roll to your right side and lay there for a moment. Find your breath, and as you feel ready, come up and have a seat. And bring your hands together over your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.